Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Ghost in Depth. Today's episode is Maverick Part 2. The first time I did the Maverick, I did it before the downloadable content came out at Infinity Ward HQ, and I only had about 15 minutes to test the assault rifle and sniper rifle, which is about 7 minutes of testing each outside of the actual gameplay, and unfortunately I got some bad data. Some of the things I said weren't correct, so this time we're re-reviewing it with correct data that I got from Marvel 4 and the Den Bros. We're going to do the assault rifle first, and then we're going to move into the sniper rifle. First of all, we want to talk about the damage. This is an unusual assault rifle because it'll deal 50 damage in close quarters combat and drop off to 24. What that means is that it is both a high and low damage assault rifle. The 50 damage up front is very, very high. It's kind of like the MSBS or how it used to be. And 24 to distance is a little bit on the weak side of things for assault rifles, but that can mean it can 2-shot kill up close or 5 at a distance. And 2 shots to kill is extremely important because that means in close quarters combat you can drop people very, very, very fast with this weapon. One important thing that I would like to note about the 2-shot kill range is that it does not work anywhere. This only works on the chest. You actually get a negative magnitude multiplier on the arms and legs. It'll deal less damage. You cannot 2-shot kill to the arms or legs. It has to be directly center mass to the chest, head, neck, or head. So do keep that in mind. If you're going for the 2-shot kills up close, don't spray at the feet. You have to hit chest. It does have a built-in attachment called hypervelocity rounds. They're not armor penetrating, they don't travel across the map faster. That's just Infinity Ward's way of explaining why the bullets deal so much damage up close and why they drop off to lesser damage at a distance. So hypervelocity rounds just indicates that it deals 50 damage up close and that it's a powerful weapon. Headshots will deal 1.5x damage, or 50% bonus damage. Pretty standard there. That's usually less shots to kill. But what you're probably curious about is the range of that 2-shot to kill. Is this fair? Is this sane? Is it balanced? How far away or how close do I need to be to my enemy to get that 2-shot kill? And I stepped ahead of myself there a little bit. It is a 7-meter 2-shot kill assault rifle, and it'll be a 3-shot kill all the way up to 37 meters, which is a considerable distance. It is pretty similar again to the SA-805. So this is some testing with me and FaZe Cross. My bad, not FaZe Cross. It's Gamma Cross now. He's the leader of Team Gamma. I'm going to shoot him in the chest twice at close quarters combat just to prove that it will kill in close quarters. And this is about the maximum range at which you'll get 2-shot kills. You'll see my first one, he's too far away and I go over distance a little bit. So if I step up just a smidge closer, this is going to be your maximum 2-shot kill range. It's very, very close. It's, I would say, about double knifing range, so at about 2 times the range of your knife is your 2-shot kill range, and that's not very far in this game. So it's not crazy, long distances. It's not like you're going to be popping people across the map in 2 shots, but if they're really, really close to you and you get your shots on target, you can 2-shot drop. Rate of fire is 652 RPM. Due to the way that the engine rounds FPSs, it goes down closer to 600 RPM, which is kind of slow for assault rifles. It's in the same category as the Remington R5 and the AK-12 when it comes to rates of fire, very, very similar to those. It's going to have a moderate to slow time to kill. Outside of that 7 meters, outside of that very, very close, it's going to be moderate, and at long ranges it's going to be a slow time to kill. I thought about including the fact that it could have a fast time to kill up close, but realistically you're not going to be that close to your opponent to get that time to kill very often. So most of the time this isn't going to be a fast time to kill weapon, except of course in point blank when you've just got the muzzle right in their face. The recoil mechanics are also a little bit unusual. It has a high amount of kick, but also a high amount of center speed. So every time you fire a bullet, the amount of kick that it can kick randomly in any direction is high, or the magnitude of the deflection or the direction that it goes. It's higher than most assault rifles, but it also has a very high center speed, so it comes back to steady, it comes back to rest, back to normal very quickly, and it overall has a decent feel for recoil. It feels more like moderate recoil, not like high recoil, and as you see from the text on the screen there, you also get 15% less recoil on the first 3 shots, which makes it a decent candidate for burst fire as well. At this point in the video, and after reading the comments in the last video, I've seen the question a lot, is the Maverick OP? Is it overpowered? Is this a pay-to-win assault rifle? Is this gun unfair? Are they catering to people to make them buy the DLC? And I'm going to say no. I think the Maverick is a good gun. I think it's overall better than the Peacekeeper. The Peacekeeper was considered a bad gun, which by many. I didn't consider it a bad gun. Peacekeeper was very niche. This weapon is kind of niche. It's a close quarters assault rifle. It's a very high damage, close range kind of weapon. It's not crazy overpowered. It's not going to murder you at all ranges. It's not a very general use assault rifle. It's a specialty assault rifle for small maps, and this DLC has small maps, so of course it works very well inside the DLC. But but outside the DLC it won't be quite as useful. It's not crazy overpowered, and it's definitely not pay to win. There are still better assault rifles in the game, which I would prefer to use over this one, but I do use this one just because it's fun and it's new. Now let's move on to the sniper rifle part of this review. The sniper rifle will deal 88 flat damage. That's lower than the other sniper rifles. They're usually dealing 95 to 98, but it doesn't really matter as long as your body multipliers are high enough, which they are. It has higher multipliers. Thankfully, my original test for one-shot kill areas were correct. This is the normal one-shot kill area on the target. That's head, neck, and chest all the way down to groin or gonad region. If you put chrome lined on it, it looks a little bit more like this. We're adding in some additional body parts, and no, I didn't make a mistake on the legs. It's actually just like that. If you do a silencer, it's just kind of boobies up, upper chest, neck, and head, but not many people run it with a silencer, so I didn't really bother making a chart. The Maverick is tied with the VKS for being the fastest firing sniper rifle in the game at 400 rounds per minute. However, I would highly recommend that you do not fire it at 400 rounds per minute, as the recoil will almost always be too high to deal with. The recoil on this weapon is somewhat high. Every time you kick, it's going to shoot a lot. It's not as bad as the Lynx. I would say it's somewhere in between the L115 and the Lynx in the amount of recoil. And my original feel on the idle sway being very high was totally incorrect. It actually has a small idle sway. It's one of the smaller idle sways in the game, and that's just how much your sights bob when you're, holding your breath and waiting and that sort of thing. But overall, the sights have a very rough feel. They don't feel smooth. They don't feel easy to use. It is somewhat difficult to use the sights, even though the sights may be just one big tracker sight. I do have difficulty using it. One of the important things to note is that this is the fastest reloading sniper rifle. None of the sniper rifles reload anywhere near as fast as the Maverick, so you can reload very, very fast with this one. It stacks very well with sleight of hand, and the movement and ADS times are a little bit on the slower end of things. I originally thought they were higher. The move speed is 85%. That's the same as the L115. The USR is 90%. That's the high mobility sniper, but it's not as slow as something like the Lynx. The Lynx is just brutally slow. ADS time is 0.5 seconds. That is tied for the slowest aim down sights time in the game, which makes this somewhat difficult to quickscope with. You're definitely going to need quick draw if you want to do any kind of quickscoping. My recommendation on how to use this weapon just kind of depends on how you like to snipe. When you use chrome lined, it's going to have a rough feel to it. Chrome line does increase your idle sway, and it feels like it increases recoil. Probably doesn't. It's just idle sway. Maybe just the idle sway and recoil tie together. But I do not like the way it feels with chrome lined. I just have a difficult time sniping with it, and I can snipe much, much easier when I don't have chrome lined. However, the damage is somewhat low. I like getting those one-shot kills to the arms and legs, and I just can't do that without chrome lined. So it's kind of a damned if you do and damned if you don't situation. I haven't found a way to use the Maverick sniper that I like. I really like the assault rifle, but I'm having a hard time with the sniper rifle. That's all for the episode. I hope you enjoyed the information. I wanted to get the right information out there quickly before it got, too far gone with the wrong information. If you'd like to check out the previous episode, it's linked there on the left side of the screen. You just click the box, it'll open a new window. If you'd like to check out the next episode, that one's super ultra duper secret. A lot of my next ones are going to be secret because they kind of have to be to avoid people copying me. You can click that box, it'll be live in a day or two. And as always, if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.